So I'm really struggling with the best approach to take for the format for the On Deck channel. I'm struggling with it because I don't think it's very good. It's really clear to me how to make the videos for looking at a product, for reviewing a product, doing a first take, product spotlight, but the episodic videos that's my baby. Like episodes like this, it's really important to me to make good episodic content because this is where the stories are told, and this is where you guys get to know the people who maintain in our boats and make our dreams possible whenever we go out there and have our adventures. For sure, what is interesting to me is what's going on around here at the Yacht Rigger and in the Boatyard. Like, it's interesting stuff. It's like, if you love boats, if you love sailing or cruising, you know, trawlers and that kind of thing, like, this is the coolest opportunity that I have here, being able to walk around and like film these guys and jump on these boats and see these projects that are going on. But I feel like I'm failing them. It's really tricky. This YouTube thing is really hard. I'm doing this not because like I want to be a YouTuber or think there's going to be a ton of money in it or something like that. I'm doing this because I'm genuinely learning how I'm one day going to be able to live on my boat and keep it maintained and make good purchasing decisions for myself and for my family that I have on my boat one day. And it's an opportunity for everybody watching these videos to learn from the people who taught me so much, and I'm trying to wrap that up in a way in these episodes that people can be entertained and they can learn some things and be inspired along the way. And you know what? It's really hard to do. It's really hard to do. This kind of format is very difficult. It's wildly time consuming. I would rather take you guys along the journey of what my entire day looks like and how I'm learning from the people here on the yard and do it in a way that is much more natural rather than in a way that is more commercial. And so I'm going to show what the flow of my life looks like. It's going to be different. I hope I don't bore you guys. I hope you can come along the journey with me because my intention is good. You can learn from the people at the Yacht Rigger the way that I've learned from them. They're a really special group of people and I really want to do them justice. So let's see if this is any better. Tell me what you guys think of this week's episode because I got to figure this out. It's just a matter of practice and getting those creative reps in and figuring out the best way to serve the sailing community through this episodic content. So let me know what y'all think. Getting the gym started here at about 5 a.m. and then I got to get to the yard. Let's crush it. Okay, so I just got done in the gym. It's a really simple goal today. Just learn something genuinely interesting and helpful for me. So see if I can do that. Hopefully it's something that helps you guys too. So this thing is called the blob. I mean, I don't think that's the technical term for it. I think it's an airbag or float bag, but...
This one.
She scared the I thought it was popping.
Oh. Yeah, they just drop this bag in the water and they're able to lift catamarans and monohulls out of the water partially so they can do things like transducers and through hull replacement stuff, and they're able to do like underwater lights and various other things. It's obviously a lot cheaper than a haul out. It's a lot less of a schedule issue as well, trying to get the lift to haul the boat out and all those kind of things, so it saves the boat owner some money and makes it just easier to get in there and get some stuff done. It's pretty cool. And I'm so surprised like how much this thing was able to get lifted out of the water. I can't believe that hull. I thought no way it's gonna get to even the prop, but it did. In fact, they use that for doing prop replacements, this lift bag. They'll do prop replacements, cutlass bearings, things like that. That is so freaking cool. Yeah, I was really impressed with this thing. That was neat to see. I said I wanted to learn something new today, and what I learned today at least was that you can actually work on the hull of a boat in the water without doing a haul out, even if it's a catamaran, using this thing. And that is a neat option to know is available. I just got a text from Steven, and he's saying that he's down at the slips and he's able to give me a rundown on all the projects going on in the yard this week. So let's go see what that looks like.
So today's update, we have, as usual, a fair bit going on over here. We have the Islander in the corner there that we are getting ready to do a re-rig on. We're going to be pulling that mast, and I think we're painting it. So we're just in discussions about that right now. And then we have the Island Packet 349 here that we're doing a full electrical refit on. So that is getting lithium batteries, inverter, and a high output alternator. The Morgan over here and that boat we're prepping for quite a lot. We're going to be taking the mast down, doing a re-rig, removing his behind the mast furler, which is a unique system that we're getting rid of and putting a traditional slab reefing setup on there with a Tides Marine track. Really awesome piece of equipment. And then we have another hardtop going on the trawler over there. So the guys are prepping that one right now.
Hey, so I just got word that there's a small boat in one of the slips here that came in to get a few things done that previously the yacht rigger had done like a ton of work on and all kinds of electronic packages and things like this. It's a lot of stuff put into a really small boat, including like a full-size solar panel, lithium, all kinds of cool stuff. So I definitely want to go and see that. I'm going to give a brief showcase of what that boat looks like here in this episode. But if you want to see the entire build out that the yacht rigger did, a full showcase of that boat, check the link in the description below or click the link above me here and take a look at that if that's something that you're interested in. Otherwise, just sit back for this quick take on this small boat.
And then we also added a saltwater and a freshwater washdown, both controlled by switches here. We added a Vesper AIS VHF unit, Serbo GX Touch. I also added a solar panel onto this boat, which is not too common to really see a whole lot of power boats with big solar panels like this. And we configured it in a way that he was still able to use his hardtop for his paddleboard storage. We need to get inside the...
Oh, that's sick. I didn't notice the TV was on the other end.
Yeah.
That's cool.
We actually cut our own compartments and opened up our own little hatches to get inside of these things. And with these batteries, we have an internal BMS in each battery, accessing the inverter.
Wow, that's clean.
So in here you can see we were able to get a multi+2 in, and you can see the 2 remote battery switches here for Class T fusing for everything, our smart shunt, all of our AC 120 volt breakers, and our inverter pre-charger right there. Okay, so down in here you can see our other RBS for our thruster bank is right here. Solar MPPT charger right here for his panel. Our PV breakers to break the voltage from the solar panels, DC to DC chargers. He had some areas in the bilge that just always held water. But we put one of the bilge be dry systems. Ever since then, areas have been relatively dry.
So it's about midday over here in the yard right now, and I'm gonna go do a little bit of practice on my FPV drone, but there's like a cool little park area that's right here. So talk about looking like a super dork, right? Whatever it takes to get the shot. Well, that was by all accounts a success. So I am slowly getting better. It's outdoor spaces really help because I fly this indoors most of the time, and it is really hard. You also get a little bit motion sick because you have such a sense of relative movement when you're in a small space. But yeah, it's coming along. I downplay it really because I'm such a big nerd. It's actually a lot of fun and I really enjoy it. Back to boat stuff. I'm going to be leaving from this area. I'm going to be wrapping it up today. Tomorrow I have a whole shoot for a company making externally regulated high output alternators. So there will be more on that in future episodes to come. Really excited about that. That's going to be cool. Most importantly, an interview tomorrow with Will. We can hear about the Focus project that's going to be the focus of this episode, which is the Lagoon 42. So that has come in, and it's time to talk about it. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.
So am I supposed to talk to you or talk to you?
To me. Yep. So my dream boat, the Lagoon 42, is parked like 3-4 feet on the other side of the studio right here. I'm really excited about having it be the focus project for the next several videos for however long it's here. But can you, Mr. Schedule Master Will, Captain Cool, tell me about what is going on with that boat? Like what are all the projects?
Sure, it's a 2021, like you said, Lagoon 42. It came in about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. Hopefully we only have it about another week, maybe 2 at most. If not, then my schedule's obviously a little off. But a couple of the big projects on the rigging side, something pretty simple. It came in, the VHF, I don't know if it got knocked off by a bird or in a storm, that got replaced. The main halyard is getting replaced with something a little bit more high-tech due to some chafe. And we determined that was from the Antal mainsail track system. Where the max hoist of the sail was, the halyard itself was chafing on that, and it's happened a couple of different times.
That's a 2-to-1, right?
It is a 2-to-1.
Okay.
Yep, absolutely. So that's being filed down and corrected. The bigger picture items are the boat never had an inverter on it, so a 3,000 watt inverter is being added. So that's the huge project because the customer does plan on a lithium conversion and solar sometime in the future. All 3 heads are getting converted from the traditional saltwater to freshwater flushes. And
selectable, like so they can do both?
No, it'll be saltwater
always
only.
just salt.
Yep,
Oh, wow.
always just saltwater. Yep, just always freshwater.
Always fresh.
Eliminating the saltwater.
Okay, cool. Yep. Yeah, I mean, because they're getting the water maker. I know I just stepped ahead of you on that, but because they can make their own water, might as well just keep the water in the bowls fresh, right?
Exactly.
I mean,
exactly, and it's just longevity at that point because there's no cleaning because of the salt water. You don't have to flush the systems anymore and take care of that. Nice. And then you're correct. The biggest project, the other large project, is a naked rain man installation. It's a 115 volt high output unit, so it'll make somewhere around 37 gallons of fresh water an hour, and that's being installed and plumbed into the boat.
Yeah.
And then some of the other little side project is we're using our float bag system, which I think you've pointed out before in previous videos, and we installed some underwater lights, and this week is the larger new through-hole transducers are going in. So they're in the process of floating the bag right now.
Nice. So that's the float bag. So when it was floating on the aft, and I have footage of that, that'll be in this episode, was doing the underwater lights, and then now they float the bow to get the transducer in there.
You got it. And so this one is a kind of an experiment because the transducer has to be so far aft of the bow. We're going to find out if the bag is big enough and if we have it in the right place or not to get far enough aft to actually install that transducer. We don't want to put it too far forward and cause any issues in the future. So
it's getting closer to midship than it is bow.
That is correct.
Yeah, that gets tricky because Bad can only do so much. Man.
Can only do so much. So we're like I said, it's a bit of an experiment on this one,
cool.
And we're hoping we don't have to haul the actual boat, which is obviously just a much bigger expense and time consuming.
Yeah, sweet. Awesome, man. Dude, that's it. That's all.
You're very welcome. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Later, bro. I'm trying to take an approach where I'm being more real with you guys and let you guys into my struggles and what I'm even doing here at the Yacht Rigger, why I make these videos and all that good kind of stuff. And it's trying to get into boat life and trying to figure out the best angle of approach to do it. I don't own a boat yet, and it's what I've been working towards since 2018 is to be a live aboard on a sailboat and go have my adventures. And the difficulty that I've had is when COVID hit, the boats became completely unattainable to me. Like, absolutely can't afford it. And so I've been waiting, I've been sidelined since then, waiting for boat prices to come back down. And it does actually look like they are starting to do that right now. So, you know, that's good news for some, maybe bad news for others, depending on what you paid and when you got in, but, you know, such is life. So I'm currently sitting on a Lagoon 42. I don't know the exact year, but this is the current generation of the Lagoon 42, which means that this is a 2018 to 2023. This is my dream boat. This is my dream boat. I spent years trying to figure out monohull, catamaran, this cat, that mono, maybe this way. I mean, I have taken, has to be dozens and dozens of different boats I've fallen in love with and fallen out of love with and thought this approach and that approach, and I've been running myself around in circles trying to figure out the best way to come down on what I'm really saving for and what I'm really aiming for. And for about a year and a half now, I've known what that is. And it's this boat that I'm sitting on. And like I said, it's what I've been aiming for a while. I'm gonna share a few reasons why I love this boat and yeah, see what you guys think. First thing I'd point out about the Lagoon 42 is the open nature of these bulwarks here. I mean, it's unbelievable how wide that is. And there's no cap shroud that's in the way. I think that that's marvelous how much space there is to traverse from the stern to the bow. Another thing I love about the Lagoon 42 are these aft winches that are back here, and you'll see them on either side. That one's right there. So this is allowing you to run your spinnaker, and then the spin line runs all the way back around here and trim it and all that kind of stuff with these aft winches. Other than those winches, all the other lines lead up to the helm. But being able to get this light wind performance out of the boat so you can at least sail in light winds, you don't get stuck motoring, is really cool. The lounge area back here, this aft lounge, is pretty great. So you have this sun lounger right here. I mean, it's covered, maybe not a sun lounger, but nevertheless, a little lounge there. Your wraparound seating in here. I've seen some people add bar stools, like with posts that actually build into the flexi teak instead of using these individual chairs, so that's an option. So that's pretty cool. You have a little bit of seating here, and then you have this really big like loungy pad area here, which is cool. So all in all, I'd say you really get a lot of great lounge space back here in the 42. I also have to just point out how big these transoms are. This is a lot of space for these sugar scoops. I mean, that's a big sugar scoop. And when you have a big sugar scoop like that, it's great because it gives you much more surface area to step onto whenever you pull up in your dinghy. I like the raised helm. You take your steps up, helm to port, and then you have further steps up that let you step right onto the coach roof. The coach roof, to get access, slides back. So as you come up the steps right here, you slide that back. That way you don't have to have such a narrow area to try to wiggle through to get up to the coach roof area and to work on your sails. As far as the helm goes, this big line organizer is really great that all your line can fall into. 2 powered winches, Harkin style, which is 2 speed winches, both of them being powered. And yeah, all the lines leading in here really comfortably. You have a aft sheeted main giving you good leverage, and then that the sheets come right in here, and it comes standard with B&G, which I think is the best electronics. I mean, they're all quite good nowadays, but I'm a B&G fan because it's more sailor centric, and I like that. And to mention as well that this is actually a hardtop. So Leopard does hardtops and Lagoon does hardtops, but many of the other brands are using a canvas bimini. And this is a great window to be able to sit here at the helm and look straight up and see what's going on with your sails, make sure you're trimmed in right, you're doing what you need to be doing. It's pretty great. You get these really deep V lockers up here at the bow on either side. It's so big that on the charter versions, these are actually crew quarters, and it'll have a little ladder that goes down. It can have a toilet on the bottom with a flipped out bunk over the top of it, which is pretty nuts. But whenever you get the owner's version, it's gonna have just locker room. So you get really, really nice locker room. To have that much locker room and still have a big forward berth on the port side is completely rad. because not just you have so much room on the berth, but having the locker room as well. I mean, on a 42, I've never seen a boat this class that has that much room. This one also has the bowsprit, which is why it has those aft winches. That's pretty sick. And look how that coach roof is so huge. I can't tell you how big that is for a boat this size. It's crazy. And not everybody digs it, but I like the 90-degree windows here that wrap around. That's very lagoon style. It just reminds me of like a military tank or something. It's like you're sitting in a bunker, and I'm a fan. A good channel for water to flow where they want it. Acts like a big gutter for runoff, as well as, yeah, just having these to hold all the way through as you're underway to keep you safe. One hand for you, one for the boat, as they say. So this is just stupid good. I mean, again, a 42, and this engine hatch, like if you've ever looked at a Leopard 40, it takes a small guy like me to get into that area and work on the engine. It's incredibly tiny on the 40. On the 42, you get a little bit more space, but this is so spacious that whenever the yacht rigger was giving me some training, I laid down right in there for about 3 hours working on running some electrical stuff on some down legs that they had done. So you have battery banks back here with the engines, which you're seeing that more and more nowadays. There's, you know, trade-offs to that, of course, but the space you get down here is completely awesome. Also, something to mention are the speakers that are up here in the lounge area. I'm a huge speaker guy. I would definitely be upgrading my speakers no matter what, because I just love a good stereo system. But having those speakers built up top like that is really nice. So that's definitely a lot to work with there. I'm not going to show you guys the inside of the boat in this video. I could go grab the key and do that, but I don't want to make the entire video a tour of a Lagoon 42 just because I love it. So if you guys enjoyed this and want to see the inside, let me know. So I think I've got some stuff figured out in the way that I made this video. I'm not sure how different it seems to any of you guys watching, but it was definitely a different process in making it, and it's just all part of the experience of growing in this whole endeavor and trying to get that content together and let it be something that's helpful for you guys. So again, any feedback, please drop a comment below. That would be awesome. Check the links below as well for some of the affiliate links that we have for a lot of different parts that the yacht rigger likes to use around the yard, tools and things like that. Not direct sponsors, but we do get a little bit of percentage back on those links if you actually purchase something. That keeps this content flowing to you. We really appreciate you, and only hit like and subscribe if you're really digging this content and you're finding it useful. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next episode of the On Deck channel.